Hello there, my Divination tribe, and welcome back. If you couldn't tell by the title, this is for my earth signs. So if you have a Taurus, Virgo, or Capricorn anywhere in your natal chart, this reading is for you. It can also apply to my cross watchers out there. So with that being said, your angel numbers for this month are listed at the top of your screen. So let's go ahead and get into your messages, okay? So for my earth signs out there, you guys are being advised to have a more positive and optimistic outlook when it comes to your romantic relationships and experiences. With this card coming through, you are being advised to view things from a different perspective. However, I do feel like it is easier said than done because you do have the devil card coming in here. So for the most part, a lot of you guys may have experienced relationships where you may have found that your partner was more so drawn to you because of what you could offer them, or vice versa, you were drawn to them because of what they can offer you. So in other words, you may have found yourself in relationships where it was more so like transactional, where it appeared to be based off of what someone can offer you in the physical or material world versus a spiritual or emotional connection, or even like an intellectual or mental connection. Okay. So with that being said, you may have found yourself being very much so controlled or even dependent on this person, or vice versa. They may have been very much so dependent on you in some way. This may have led to you losing yourself in this relationship, or losing your independence, or even losing your spiritual self, okay? So with the Prince of Autumn coming through, again, I do feel like there was some sort of codependency where, again, this person was drawn to you because of what you can offer, vice versa. You may have been drawn to them because of what they could offer. And this may have led to a codependent relationship. And Spirit was advising you or encouraging you from the very beginning of the relationship to be very cautious when it comes to your actions moving forward. With the Tower card coming in here, some of you may have missed those warning signs, those red flags, because the Tower does represent, living under false pretenses, or believing in a fantasy, or living some sort of, false reality or illusion. So over time, if you were in fact, depending on this person in some way, that perception of a solid foundation that you had may have come crumbling down like right before your eyes. For some of you, it may have happened gradually. For others, it may have happened suddenly. One moment, everything appeared to be just fine. The next, everything was falling apart. So this is about a disruption in plans, an unexpected event, occurring that kind of forces you to awaken or see the truth, or see whatever was hidden from you, okay? So this may have come through in a crisis, or this may have been revealed to you in a moment of anger. Someone may have said something that kind of woke you up, or caused you to see them for who they truly were, or realize the truth that maybe you weren't living in your truth, okay? Or they weren't living in their truth. So with that being said, you do have the Five of Spades. So this is about temporary defeats, meaning you have possibly lost everything that you thought you had, or you had accumulated or built over time. However, understand that it is temporary, meaning number fives can change. It's always evolving. So just because you may be down and out right now doesn't mean you will always remain that way. So with that being said, moving forward, you are being met by your own limitations, almost like you set your own stage for what's about to play out or occur in your life. There's a lot of negative energy surrounding you at this time. You may even feel like you missed a lot of important opportunities around you because of this relationship. I do feel like you and this person do not speak the same love language. I do feel like there is some sort of misunderstandings and miscommunication between you two. There's definitely some sort of fear of also going all in. So some of you guys have a fear of commitment, or a fear of intimacy, or this could be your partner. So I do feel like this will result in some time apart or a breakup. There is also a loss of income or property. So there could even be like a divorce or legal separation or battle that's going on right now. A lot of you guys are also experiencing depression, or you're just in a dark period where you aren't able to fully get yourself out of it. So I see a lot of sorrow, the inability to kind of like move on or go on, a lot of pain, a lot of grief. So your guides are advising you not to lose sight of yourself and your goals, to stay in faith at this time, to raise your vibration by getting out in nature, by thinking more positively and optimistically about your future, having faith in yourself and a higher power, understanding that no experience is ever wasted and everything happens for a reason, okay? So you are being called to release your past and to go within yourself and not against yourself, okay? With the Page of Swords, you may be seeking higher understanding. You may be trying to figure out, like, you know, answers to your questions. You know, you may be analyzing the situation. Where did you go wrong? How did this happen? What did you miss? You may be questioning your own intellect at this time, you know. But this is definitely a teachable moment. You were meant to go through this because you were meant to evolve through it. You were meant to grow from it, okay? So although you are trying to think your way through it, Spirit is saying you're going to have to feel your way through it. You're going to have to be honest with yourself, face the facts, you know, and stop deceiving yourself as well as other people. With the Knight of Pentacles, you may have gone into this very much so focused on one thing and one thing only, and that may have been financial stability or your goals, or you may have aligned yourself with a partner based off of the material world, the physical world, instead of your spiritual self. If so, this may have taught you a lesson about being guarded, not really opening up, not really being present, only focusing on one thing at a time, and that's financial stability or your own comfort, you know? So I always say whenever I see the Knight of Pentacles, this is someone who's very much so guarded, someone who's very much so only focused on what they can see or hold in their hands. So you may have been way too picky when it comes to allowing true love to come into your life. You may have been looking for perfection instead of someone who really spoke to your soul, okay? Really spoke to the parts of yourself that you were afraid to even acknowledge yourself, or to allow anybody to really see. Again, this person is very guarded. They're in full armor from head to toe, okay? So interesting, you have this also coupled with the Knight of Cups. So you yourself drew to you somebody who was also guarded, who may have played on the fact that maybe you weren't emotionally available, because they weren't either. They over idealized love. Like, they didn't really have a real perception of what love was. They may have shown you love through the material. They may have showed you love in a superficial way, meaning they showed you love by showering you with nice things or gifts, or being that, you know, support system in some way. This is someone who lacks restraints as well. So there may have been third-party situations going on behind your back that you weren't aware of, you know, because they were keeping you blinded with this pentacle. So jealousy was also an issue. Like I said, emotional instability. So there was an emotional imbalance here. So this person could have been very jealous or possessive, or you yourself may have been very jealous or possessive. And maybe you interpreted that as love of some sort, okay? So many ups and downs. This person could not read you, and you could not read them. This is somebody who has many mood swings. Like I said, just very much so emotionally unstable, or this is how you are coming across. So you are being called to tie up loose ends with this Four of Swords. You are being called to go within, to really contemplate and plan your next step, your next move. This is about you also coming up or gaining a different perspective, going within yourself in order to find peace, resting, spending time alone, listening to your inner self, your inner God, reevaluating this entire situation before coming to a final conclusion and understanding. And then also, again, like I said, tying up those loose ends before moving forward, okay? So when it comes to what you need to work on and release, you have religious factors. So this may have played a major role in your relationship. Like I stated before, I do feel like you and this person did not speak the same love language, okay? So you could not communicate effectively. You could not see eye to eye. You could not get on the same page. So someone was very much so overly emotional. The other person was very much so guarded and afraid of intimacy. So someone could have also come up, you know, been brought up in like a very religious household. The other person may have not had any religion any spirituality, whatever the case may be. You guys did not speak the same love language. You guys did not have the same upbringing. You guys did not have the same beliefs, faith, goals, understanding, any of that, okay? So over time, this may have, you know, became so evident that it kind of like overflowed into your reality. Like, you could not sweep this under the rug. It became so evident you could not deny it. So someone was craving true intimacy and true love in this relationship, and they could no longer deny or hold back how they truly felt. Someone could have also felt, you know, held back in some way, because you do have the dreamer coming in here. So with the dreamer coming in, you are being advised that you may have to sacrifice everything. Whenever I see zeros, it reminds me of ground zero, meaning you will have a tower moment. Everything will, you know, kind of like explode, and then you're going to have all this debris, and then you're going to have to clear it out, and you're going to be left with a clean slate. So it's time to embrace your true purpose. It's time for you to begin a new adventure and trust yourself in a higher power. You're going to go through a very dark period with the Six of Swords. However, during this dark time, you may feel like, you know what, you no longer want to do something that you once did. Maybe it was never in alignment with what you truly wanted to do. Maybe it was just something you did to pay the bills or for, you know, money or whatever. Or maybe your family, you know, your upbringing told you that this is what you do to make money. This is what you have to do to be successful. So with that Six of Swords, I do feel like you guys are learning the hard way that that's not truly in alignment with your true dreams, what you really want to do. So in order to honor your true self, you're going to have to release that old programming, that old way of thinking, everything that you've been conditioned to believe. You're going to have to leave that behind. You're going to have to heal and recover from that by possibly moving away, even if it means leaving your church home, even if it means leaving whatever spiritual beliefs you once had, even if it means abandoning, you know, people who kept you stuck in that mind frame, or a job or a career that kept you stuck in that mind frame. It's time for you to move away from that to truly heal yourself, figure out who you are, and then be reborn again. So you do have the Nine of Diamonds. Nines represents endings, okay? Completions. I see you moving forward independently, okay? This is about someone who's very much so self-reliant, someone who is an individual, someone who is courageous, someone who is recognizing their soul purpose as well as their spiritual abilities, someone who is embarking on like a new adventure, traveling, or like, you know, just branching out. So again, you may have to leave behind a church home, a home altogether, a home that you share with someone else, a city, a state, a country. You're gonna have to move forward in order to get yourself in a new state of mind. So you're moving forward, you're taking initiative. You're going to see a lot of positive feedback from all of your hard work and your sacrifices. There's going to be a lot of amazing opportunities coming in for you, as long as you are being led by your heart, as long as you are honoring your true self, your highest self, and as long as you are going into it with like positive intentions. I do feel like you will activate like your spiritual side in the law of attraction. You know, your manifestations will start to show themselves in your reality, okay? Overcome whatever self-doubts that you have, whatever fears that you have, and take advantage of the moment. You do have this coupled with the High Priestess. So again, tapping into your true self, your highest self, listening to your intuition, your inner God, trusting in the unseen, something that you cannot hold in your hand, okay? So this is about being open to the unknown, allowing things to kind of flow and blossom without, you know, having all the answers or, you know, following all the rules. So be open to the possibilities of what can be. So when it comes to someone that you once, like I said, found to be dependable, someone that was once a support system or a rock for you with the King of Pentacles, someone that you were once, you know, reliant on, or who was reliant on you, someone that you were once, you know, committed to, I do feel like there was a lot of illusions with the Seven of Cups surrounding that relationship. It could be that maybe your whole relationship, marriage, whatever, may have been a lie. This person may have been keeping their options open the entire time. Maybe this person was selling you some sort of fantasy or a dream. You were waiting for your ships to come in with this person. You were waiting for, you know, the big aha moment or love to come in, and it It just never appeared. And this person was keeping you limited in some way. It was preventing you. This person was almost like an scapegoat. It was keeping you from actually doing the work. You know what I mean? So now you're being called. You're being forced to go within yourself. Again, the Hermit card, number 9. So completions. You're being called to do some sort of soul searching, to find guidance from within, answers from within. Concentrate on yourself, okay? And there will be individuals that show up for you, teachers, mentors that show up for you in the form of experiences, okay? So be prepared for that, okay? And you're going to learn how to be more, like I said, self-reliant, dependent on yourself. More so of an individual instead of seeing yourself in, a couple. Not to say that you won't, eventually find a person that you can be with. So, what you can expect when it comes to love and relationships, chemistry, okay? But you fear this. You fear this connection. This can also represent a soul tie. Whenever I see chemistry, the way that spirit shows it to me is that there's a magnetic pull that continuously pulls you back to like a toxic situation, possibly. So you may have a soul tie between yourself and this person where you're like, you find it hard to completely like leave them alone or escape, this connection. It pulls you back time and time again. So you may want to look into doing some protection work, some energy work, some cut and clearing, okay? So if you are one of the people who find yourself going back to the same person over and over and over again with the 9 of Wands, you don't trust this person, nor do they trust you. You're very much so on the defense when it comes to this person. Like I said, you had those nights where you are both very guarded. Maybe you've always been used for what you have to offer financially, and they've always felt like they've been used because of how emotional they are, or codependent on people they are. Whatever the case may be, you just assume that things won't go right between you and this person because you're going off of the playbook, off of what has always happened in the past, and you have every right to feel that way. But you feel the need to protect yourself, protect your energy, and I feel the need for you to do so as well. So if you are feeling called to go back to someone from your past, understand that this may be just a soul tie connection. It may not, go well for you if you decide to go back. You are given an opportunity to move forward. This is a turn of events with the Wheel of Fortune. The Wheel of Fortune, like a new chapter is opening up for you, okay? So this is about you changing your direction, your delays and blockages being over. Some sort of sudden or unexpected good luck or blessings are coming in the form of an opportunity, or even like an opportunity to travel, okay? I see you aligning yourself with like-minded people who share your same hopes, dreams, goals, mindset, things of that nature. So this can also represent like, you finding out possibly about a third-party situation coming to light. However, for the most part, I feel like this is you opening up to new opportunities, aligning yourself with people who can help you when it comes to achieving your dreams, your goals. So 10 of Spades coupled with the Page of Cups. I see you guys, getting in tune with your higher self, tapping into your emotions, listen to your intuition, shedding your attachments to the past. Also, forgiving yourself and other people as well. You understand that in the past, people have, misused or abused their power over you or your trust in them. You understand that you may have been pouring into a situation that really wasn't paying off. So now you're accepting the fact that, this is just something that didn't go in your favor, and it is what it is. You're assessing your losses, and you're moving forward. You're no longer allowing that to define you in any sort of way. So, whatever burdens you had that were attached to the situation, I see you just clearing that all out. I do see you embarking on a new beginning. However, you will experience a lot of challenges along the way. Those challenges will call for you to let go, to release the situation or emotional baggage that you're still carrying. Understand that sometimes you have to surrender to the experience in order to really gain the soul lesson. So this is about ending the struggle, submitting to God's will over your life, understanding that this is destined and fated to happen. releasing old patterns, old thought processes, like I stated before, becoming more optimistic, seeing things from a new perspective, and also having patience with yourself in healing. Understand that we have multiple planets in retrograde right now, so with the Four of Cups, you may experience people coming back who you thought that you would have a future with. This is somebody who had a lot of, expectations when it comes to the future. You were planning your whole life with this person. So with the Four of Cups, they may come back around to tempt you. However, a lot of you guys are aware of who this person is. You understand that it's in your best interest at this time to focus on yourself and not accept this cup of love, okay? You understand with the Seven of Pentacles that you have invested so much into the situation and you have yet to see any payouts. If this is you, then it's time for you to reevaluate, reassess, and possibly take, your time, your effort, your love, your energy in a different direction, okay? If you're constantly pouring into something, whether it's a person, a relationship, anything, if you're constantly pouring into it and it's not paying off, if this person is not receptive, if this person is not at all pouring into you what you're pouring into them, it's time for you to really take a different direction, a different approach, okay? So when it comes to your overall outcome, for those of you guys who may fall for, this, offer, this reconciliation, and if you do decide and if you do feel in your heart that you want to give this person a chance, understand that this is not based off of anything other than, security, comfort. This is you falling back into your old patterns because this person's able to provide a certain lifestyle, or this person has certain connections, or vice versa. You have these connections. This is someone who repeats the same old pattern. So if you do decide to, which is your free will, give this relationship a chance, understand that you will find yourself repeating the same old pattern, okay? Fours do represent your foundation. Fives do represent, a lot of change. So you may find yourself giving in and things may go right, or well for a short period of time. But you're still going to be lacking that deeper sense of peace and happiness, This may lead to you sacrificing your integrity for what? For material gains. You're here for much more than that, you know what I mean? So you may lose sight of yourself. You may lose yourself in this relationship. This is about being dishonored or dishonoring yourself. This is about realizing that no one wins here by giving in. This is about you realizing that, this person doesn't truly want you or what's best for you. They're only in it for their own selfish gain or intent. So power plays are at mind games, and power plays are at hand here. So you are entering into a hostile situation, and you will not find that inner peace in love and harmony that you desire, because it doesn't exist outside of yourself. It exists inside of yourself. So once you realize that, you stop sacrificing yourself for this, then you'll be much better off. So the Jack of Clubs coupled with the Seven of Swords, again, having to learn how to say no and set boundaries with these people. This person is going to put you in a situation where you have to constantly defend your relationship, and you shouldn't have to defend what the Most High has already put their stamp on, Again, this person's very smart, very hardworking. They came across as someone who was, genuine at first. Very charming, great with money, very passionate, a risk taker, but you've questioned your judgment when it comes to this person, and you should be questioning it, because you're going to end up with the Ten of Wands, always having to fight an uphill battle, always having to be the one carrying, the load or the weight of the relationship. You're going against your highest self. You're going against the flow. You're going against nature in some way. So you can expect, if you do decide to give this relationship a chance, you can expect to be restricted in some way, not just on a physical level, but also on a spiritual level. I do feel like they're blocking your blessings or your growth in some way. You're going to feel powerless, trapped, and it's because you're avoiding taking accountability or responsibility for yourself. So don't sabotage yourself. Don't sabotage your journey, your spiritual journey in this lifetime for monetary gain or something that's just, material or superficial. You guys are being called to really become more knowledgeable of self, as well as the higher power, your beliefs, your religion, whatever it is. You're being advised to conform in some way, to become more disciplined, to learn more about yourself and who you truly are and what you're really meant to do in this world, okay? So I'm going to go ahead and leave it there for you guys. We are, in fact, in very interesting times, but it is very much so exciting. I encourage you all to remain in a place of love and not in fear. Also, if you're interested in booking a personal reading with me, you can always contact me through my website, which is Divination.com. You can also purchase my tarot deck. My deck is now available again on my website as well. But I love you all. I appreciate you all. Until next time.